Like the Brady one. I love you. You might just so everybody gets a shot and in the shot. Thank you.
I think that RuPaul and his legacy, I think it goes beyond Drag Race. I think with just gay people, I think with everybody, it really has a lot of impact. I mean, my grandparents knew who RuPaul is, and they don't know who anybody is. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's helped a lot of people who don't really quite understand drag people or gay people, or drag queens, excuse me. They don't really understand because they don't really understand what we're doing, but the show, it humanizes us, and it shows that we're people too.
Now, obviously, there's been a lot of stuff going on with
I think we're in a really interesting time. We're kind of seeing history repeat itself. Like at first, drag queens were like a no-go, like a seedy, like nightclub thing. Like that's how everybody perceived them. And then RuPaul really brought drag into the mainstream, truly made people aware that it's an art form more than anything. And I think everyone was like fine with drag for a little bit. And now history is repeating itself, and people are speaking out against it, which I think is so silly because drag is all about fun and expression. And if you have a problem with those things, I think you need to reevaluate.
It's extremely disheartening. It's definitely not something that is surprising to me. It's, just like being a person of color, being a minority, growing up in certain communities. It's something that I've had to undergo my entire life, and seeing it at this scale is very disheartening, but we always prevail. We always prevail, and we're always going to come out on top because we're on the right side of history, and we love what we do, and we're not doing anything to harm anybody. We're just trying to bring love to everything.
Well, absolutely. I think a man in women's clothing is inherently hilarious just because we are like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. And it's when the men in women's clothing stop sort of doing the nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and start actually enjoying the way they look in the women's clothing that people start to sort of say, wait, hold on. You're supposed to be laughing at yourself. And if you're not laughing at yourself, we don't like it.
TV. How exciting. Why do you say that?
Because I feel like, VH1 is our sister. The style that
So a few weeks ago, I went to attend a drag story hour at a local library in my district, just like I do all the time, going to kids' programs. This time, there were dozens of homophobic protesters outside with the most disgusting signs, verbally attacking the families and the drag queen that was entering the library. I filmed them and posted that online and condemned them as a supporter of Drag Story Hour.
I mean, I would love it.
Yeah.
Let's put it into the universe.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
2 days later, they came to my office. They vandalized the hallway after not being able to gain entry to my office. And they went to my apartment building in Chelsea. They gained entry to my apartment building. 2 of them were arrested. A third was arrested for assaulting one of my neighbors. This is all an attempt to silence us and intimidate those of us who are supporting Drag Story Hour. These people are totally unhinged conspiracy theorists, and they took this way too far. And you got to send a message like, yeah, you're allowed to do your First Amendment rights, but you can't enter people's apartment buildings. You can't commit violence. They wrote on the sidewalk the most disgusting, vile, Eric Botcher, pedophile, child predator, and it was a disgusting act that they've been doing all over the country, including here in New York.
It feels like a pendulum swinging. The further we advance and the more that we are embraced, accepted, celebrated, that pendulum, they're going to try to swing it back, to move our movement back. But you cannot put this genie back in the bottle. Darling, we are too fabulous. So it's heartbreaking when they try. They try to make us a wedge issue. They're violent, but they're not going to win.